Speaking of big money, apparently sensational off-the-course headlines, along with the loss of $22 million in advertising revenue, couldn't knock golfer Tiger Woods off the list of highest-earning athletes worldwide. Woods tops both the Fortunate 50 and the International 20 lists, which appear on the website SI.com, earning nearly $30 million more than the next highest-ranked athlete, Tiger's good friend and Swiss tennis star, Roger Federer. SI.com writer Jonah Freedman crunched those numbers for the website. He joins me now from San Francisco. All right, Jonah, so Tiger Woods gets embroiled in controversy. He takes time off, loses sponsors, yet he's still number one. I guess Nike standing by his side had a lot to do with that. Are you surprised that Tiger still tops?
No, I'm not. I mean, Tiger's been such a force over the last 10 years or so in the game, and Nike obviously is the big one in his portfolio. They stuck by him. He makes so much money just from that Nike deal alone. I mean, that really keeps him on top alone. And he also had a great year on the course last year. I mean, he won the FedEx Cup, and you get a $10 million bonus for that. So really, the effects of his off-the-course trouble haven't really affected him yet.
And his buddy Phil Mickelson, second in the rankings among American athletes overall. I guess we can take from that, Jonah, that golf is king?
Golf is king, and Tiger and Phil have been a 1-2 punch the last few years in a row. I mean, Phil has really come up strong ever since his Masters win. He's kind of come across as sort of an everyman, so that's made him really easy to market to companies who want to use his image.
Yet, let me know about overall. I know there was a time there, at least during the crisis, the economic crisis, that golf, they were losing sponsors, especially on the ladies' tour, they were doing that. Golf still overall getting good sponsor money in, huh?
Yeah, it is, and I think the Tiger effect is definitely having a little bit of an impact. I think he's obviously the most marketable brand in the game, but really Tiger and Phil have been the ones who have been carrying golf for the last several years. So as long as those two are on top, I think the game will be just fine.
All right, let's talk tennis. Roger Federer, a great player and a great family guy. Jonah, how do those qualities work when it comes to making money?
Well, it's really funny. At Sports Illustrated, we used to laugh at the fact that Roger Federer has been on top of his game, on top of the tennis world for the last 5-6 years. He never made the cover of SI, and it was probably because he just wasn't marketable enough in the U.S., and that's really changed. And it's also changed as far as his endorsement deals. I mean, he's been the most dominant player still over the last several years, but he's also broken the record for all-time major wins, and it's made him more marketable in the States as well. He has a huge Nike deal. He now has a very large Mercedes deal that's being marketed all over the world, including Asia. And it's really made him one of these titanic guys as far as international marketability for sponsors.
John, I find this very interesting. There's not a single female athlete in the top 50 among money earners worldwide. There is one tennis player, Russian Maria Sharapova, highest on the list at 56 overall. Why is that?
Well, she's been the one female athlete who's made this list pretty much every year since she's been on the scene. And obviously she's a beautiful athlete, but she's also amazing on the court. These high-end sponsors have stuck by her, like Canon, like Tag Heuer, Land Rover, those kinds of things. But the Williams sisters, when we first started doing this list about 7 years ago, Venus and Serena were on this list fairly often. And then the two of them had a little lull in their career for a while. They stopped winning majors, and they really started resurfacing again in the last 3 or 4 years, Serena in particular. Now, Serena Williams didn't make the U.S. list this year, but she came very close, and the sponsors are coming back to her. I would not be surprised to see Serena back on this list in the next couple of years.
And, Jonah, we can't talk money without talking football or soccer players. Out of the top 5 on these lists, 3 play in Spain, Messi, Ronaldo, and Kaká. The other 2, Beckham and Henry, play in the U.S. in Major League Soccer. Henry, of course, the latest entry into Major League Soccer. Shouldn't there be more footballers or soccer players earning more money?
There's plenty of footballers earning plenty of money. I mean, I think average salary across the board, especially in leagues like England and Spain, I mean, they're earning a good $6-7 million a year for good players. But, the top players are the ones who marketers really want to hitch their wagons to. Guys like Messi, Kaká, Cristiano Ronaldo, Beckham, and Thierry Henry. And I'm thrilled because I also work for Major League Soccer. And, these two guys, Beckham and Henry, having these two guys in Major League Soccer in front of U.S. audiences, I mean, this is going to help grow the sport in a place where it really, the sky is the limit. So, Beckham and Henry, that's who I'm hitching my wagon to.
All right, let's talk about Major League Soccer and Henry coming on board. You said it could help the league. How does the league stack up on U.S. soil?
Well, I think the World Cup in particular is always a boon for the U.S. The TV ratings get better with every progressive World Cup. But this last time, they were just off the charts. I mean, I think 25 million people watched the World Cup final. It's something like the second highest soccer audience ever in U.S. history. And I think people in the U.S. are really starting to understand the game And I think the attendance numbers in Major League Soccer are definitely going to increase, especially when you have the likes of Henry and Beckham playing here.
All right, one final one for you, Jonah. U.S. athletes' revenue rose 11% this past year. Athletes from other countries only up 1.7%. What does that say?
I don't know if it says anything about the type of market we're in. I think a lot of the reason that the U.S. athletes went up by a lot is because American football is starting to pay out a little more. You know, the salary cap in the NFL is kind of disappearing this year when they're trying to renegotiate a new labor contract. So part of the fallout of that is that all these football athletes, American football athletes, get these enormous payouts with their contracts. They get signing bonuses and things like that. But all in all, I mean, you know, if you're trying to sell a product to mainstream America, to the rest of the world, to Europe, you know, athletes are a great way to sell your brand. That's nothing new. It's just that you find athletes like not like Tiger Woods, but like Roger Federer and Maria Sharapova, and if you use them to help sell your products, I mean, the sky's the limit for them. And
Jonah, you were mentioning there as you were talking, we also saw a number of NBA athletes as well. The NBA, pretty good moneymaker as well if you're able to perform at the highest level like Kobe and company. Jonah Freedman of SI.com. The numbers are impressive, but your analysis even more priceless. Thanks for joining us on World Sport.
Thanks for having me.